Hey everybody, welcome back to another week here at the Golfing Dads. It's Steve, and I'm here with Heidi Cannon. And Heidi is, we've been emailing back and forth. It started as Instagram back and forth, and I was really excited because I'd seen this putter, and I was like, man, this putter looks really cool. There's some cool technology in it, and we're going to get to that in a minute with Killer Golf. But Heidi, for our listeners and those people who don't know, tell us about your background and how you became involved in Killer Golf.
Very random background, but I'll make it very short. So I used to own a couple restaurants, fried chicken restaurants in Idaho. And I would go down there periodically, obviously, check in on things. And I love golf. I'm a huge lover of golf. I used to hate it. I sucked at it. I still not. No, I don't think anybody's like great at it, but I I would go to Idaho, check on the restaurants, and I actually when I was down there, my business partner was like, I wanted to golf, and he's like, let me hook you up with one of my buddies that golfs. Perfect. So I met Shamik, and the two of us just hit it off. And he's the creator of Killer Golf. So we'll get into that a little later. But I would go down there and play golf with him. We'd shoot the shit. I can say that, right?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you're good.
I thought so. But yeah, and really my background started with fitness. I'm a big tomboy at heart. Like I love anything with speed, motorcycles. I'm a total gearhead in a lot of ways, and I compete in fitness. I won the world title 2022. I'm just I love to be outside. I love sports. I love all the fun stuff. So golf was kind of a transition of like, okay, well, I'm going to get older, and I know that I can do this till I'm like 100. And my husband and I, we go to Palm Springs all the time in the winter. So I just started golfing more and more, and it's such an addiction. And I'm such a competitive person that I'm like, I need to get good at this. And it's so addicting because we know sometimes you'll be so good and then the next day you suck. So that's...
Have you beaten your husband yet? Does he play?
He's very good. Yeah, I have not beat him. I've beat him a couple times, but like, no, not. He's 6'7", so he's got the swing that goes far.
Nice. What was it? You met Shamik. What was it about the company and the vision that made you really want to jump in and be a part of it?
So this is what was so cool. Shamik's such a he's an entrepreneur. But he's an engineer. So what I thought was so cool, he told me this backstory when I met him. He was like, you know what? Like he really wanted to be a pro golfer. That's all he wanted. So at 28, he left his job. I think he was at Samsung, or I forget which company he was at. He was making 6K a year, 100K plus a year. And he was like, I'm going to go and try and be a golfer. So he literally left his job. He went and worked at a golf shop, and he played every day, and he got down to, I think it was a 7. And then he hurt his back, and he was like, wait, this is like really hard. And I'm 28 now. So he went back, and he's like, I really want to be in the golf industry. So this has all come together in the last, it'll be a year in June, which we've already launched at the PGA show in January. We've launched in Korea because he used to live and work in Korea as well. So we're really trying to expand on everything. But everything is machined in-house in Boise, Idaho. He bought a machine shop. Again, he's an engineer. So he's really dove into this and taken his passion and put it into our putters. So he came on with me. He was like, oh yeah, go ahead. No, it's okay.
Well, my question is what he's doing. What's your role within the brand?
So he came to me in October. He's like, I have a proposition for you. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what is it? He's like, I'm flying there. I'm going to come see you because I'm in Vancouver right now, Canada. And he's like, well, I'm coming to see you. And he's like, I want you to help me. I want you to help me be the face of the brand. Like I've done lots of spokesperson work. I've done lots of hosting, all the things. I love being on camera. He's like, I want you to help me be the face of it and help me grow this. So that's my role, is helping bring brand awareness, helping find people like influencers or just, anyone that's teachers, pros. We're looking for a lot. Like we want to help out kids. We have a little kid that we just sponsored. So, trying to grow this because it's a tough industry, right? I find golfers being very, let's say it on here, but some of them are very snobby and like it's like, oh, I've had this putter for 100 years and I will never change. And it's like, oh my god, dude. Like, yeah, so it's a tough industry.
I'll bite
for
my
sure.
tongue on that comment. You may have just hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah, I know I have. I met
Yeah.
all these people. I'm like, seriously? I'm like,
Yeah.
but your game's still the same and you're using technology from 20 years ago. But hey,
Yeah.
you keep doing it, you know.
This
fun.
is the same sport that, you know, the golf ball goes too far and it needs to come backwards. Let's not even get started on that conversation.
Right? Yes.
So going into a putter market that is, I mean, you can go online and just scroll on social media and hit 15 putter companies in
absolutely.
in 3 seconds. Like you're like putter company, extremely saturated, extremely crowded. What makes Killer Golf stand out and different from all the other brands that we see online?
Well, I think what the biggest thing is that it's changeable. Like we have our modular system. I mean, you can there's 6 different ways right away for just the weights. Like we start with like if you you're on fast greens, slow greens, we have a 150 gram weight, we've got a 75 gram weight, a 50 gram, 25, and then our EQ system, which you can put it to the heel or the toe, depending on if you're, slicing left, slicing right. It's interchangeable. So it's for the golfer instead of just like, okay, here's one technology. It's for the actual person that's like, okay, my swing goes to the left. Okay, well, then let's adjust it. So we're fully adjustable. And then the other fun side of it that we haven't really even tapped into, because different markets we're learning that are definitely interested in different things, right? So we have games for the putter. We have a shot glass game. There's a shot glass and there's poker chips, and you make your putter heavier and you're betting on the poker chips and putting it inside. I don't know if we're filming this or not because I can show you, make a little bit more sense, but there's so many options to this putter. I have a little crown on mine that you can put on the top of it. Again, it's customizable. It's more for that's the more fun lifestyle of it, but there's also such a big performance side of it. So I don't see any other putters like that on the market that have all the different variations.
I'm someone who tends to pull putts, and I know that. If you watch my putting stroke, if I miss, it's going to be left, and I'm going to pull it. My hand's going to come through quickly. So with the weighting system, you can move the weight out towards the toe and keep it straight down line. So I'm going to ask this question. I mean, can you do that? Do you have to set it, or is this something we can? Is it conforming with the USGA so that we can make sure that we're doing the right thing here?
Yeah, absolutely. So just like if you were to play in a tournament, you'd have to set it at the beginning of the tournament, right? And that would be it. You can't adjust it. But I mean, if you're playing with your friends, or we like to say like your Monday swing is not the same as your Friday swing. So that being said, you might change it to the heel, you might change it to the toe the next day, but that's what I find is the beauty of it. We also have that's people have gotten, so they're like, what the heck? We have laser pointer that you can put on top of it to help with, again, like your putting strokes, like for practice. We've tons of training aids. That's why we're really heavily pushing more, teachers and stuff like that, coaches, because we have a lot of people that are like, this is awesome. This is a great training tool. And it really is, because it's using the actual person instead of just the putter itself, right? Like whatever your
training tool that you can then take out on the golf course and use, and it works. So
absolutely.
Whereas typically, that putting training tool that fits in between your arms and you're trying to roll putts with it and get your hands in the right spot, you can't go out and play with that. Now you're taking using,
and you're not going to practice, like you're not going to be
So that makes a ton of sense. The artifact system that Killer Golf has, can you explain it if someone hadn't heard of Killer Golf, explain it in the easiest way possible?
So for the artifacts, like I said, it's a personality. So we can create for you, literally it's limitless with I could create you as a bobblehead and put it on top. I can create and they're all 3D printed, right? I can create like golf courses, for example. Let's say you run one of the golf courses and there's the 9th hole is your favorite hole. We can print out the actual look of that ninth hole and put that on top of your putter. That's like our little artifacts. It's crazy when I say like all the different options. It's endless. And
now, does that attach to the putter? Like, will it fit on with the putter cover on it and everything?
yeah,
Is that how that works?
well, I mean,
Yep.
it does with our putter covers are fairly big. Yes, in certain ones. I mean, if they're quite high, no, but you just take it off. It's not, you
Okay.
can change it out, everything else. So again, those kind of that sort of stuff, because we're in two different countries right now too, we're trying to sort of figure out what's landing better in which country, right? So Korea, really, the artifacts are really like, what is this? They love that stuff, right? So I find that yeah, that's doing really well there. I mean, but that being said, it's just something different. And again, I think for us, it's like we're not trying to tell you you have to buy this stuff to buy that, but we're definitely trying to stand out and be a little bit different, but that comes at a cost because sometimes people, like I said, they're excited like, oh well, I've had this putter or I've had this driver for 20 years, why would I buy this, right? They're a little nervous of something new.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, well, give it a try. You never know until you try. You're like, oh, you like it.
You got me excited about the bobblehead and making a bobblehead of me on my putter,
Right?
because my wife during COVID took a job, and the CEO of the company had a life-size bobblehead of himself in his office.
That's
And I
a
literally
lifestyle.
said, yes. And I literally said, that might be the biggest flex ever. And that might be the sign, like, if I ever make it in life, if someone sees my life-size bobblehead, that'll be the sign that I've made it.
I love it. Right? We could do this
Right.
for
Like,
you. We could do all the
yeah.
dads. And I think that would be the best, right?
Yeah.
But we want to play onto the fun side of it as well, because
Yeah.
let's be honest, how many people are actually pros in golf and how many people just golf like us for fun, like I love the
Yeah.
industry. I love golf. I love being around it and everything else. But like, I know I'm never going to be PGA pro, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, how can I bring my
I tried
friends in?
at one point and then had kids and elbow surgery, and that was the end of that. So
Oh, elbow.
definitely understand.
Yeah.
Definitely understand that. So what's the biggest misconception golfers have on the putter before they actually try one?
The biggest misconception, probably that it's not going to feel. I think what I've seen, people are like, oh, the look, like what is this? It's different for them, visually it might look a little bit different, but then once they hit it, they're like, oh, wait a second, this sounds really good, like it's milled, it's engineered, I don't know, just try it.
Okay. All right. I do like the weighting system, because I think a lot of times when you look
Yes.
at mass-produced putters, especially in the amateur market that people are buying off the shelf, you
Yes.
don't get that ability to get. Scotty Cameron has done a great job with it and adding the weight kits that they've done, but the average putters don't come. They come with a certain weight, and that's all they get. And that doesn't
Exactly.
work for every player. Like, I like a heavier
Yes.
putter. That's just
Yes.
me. The putter I have now has, I don't know how many bars of lead tape on the bottom of it just to get it heavy. You look at Wyndham Clark, who won last weekend, the bottom of his putter was entirely lead tape. So when you have the ability to adjust the weights, then you don't
need 5 other putters, right?
You don't need 5 other putters. But the other thing that you can do is for the average player that makes it great is now you can get that putter to right where you want it to be from a weighting standpoint.
Exactly.
Where did that idea really come from, and take us to like being able to dial your putter in?
I think, well, with Sean, like, again, with the engineering background, and just like you said, how you love the fact that like a heavier to a lighter. Side note, my dad a couple weeks ago, my dad does not golf at all, but I took him to the putting green. I said, Dad, we're gonna shoot some content today. Okay. So he loves me in front of the camera. But I put the 150 gram on it, and he was draining putts. This man has golfed once in the last like 6 years, and he was draining like 30-foot putts. I'm like, what the heck? Because of that nice, the feeling, right? The confidence. And I feel like when you're able to adjust the confidence, if you're on a slow green, okay, then the heavier. If you're on a fast green, then go for lighter. It's having that, the weight that you can change. you know, in your cart on the go kind of thing. If you're playing, again, we're not talking tournaments, but we're talking just every day, giving that client, that customer, the confidence, right? So
Does it?
and I
Do you
think
change it out with like the wrench, like a driver wrench that you would adjust the driver? Okay,
the
so
same
you've
old
already got
one
everybody's got one
anyway.
everybody's got one in their bag already, so it's not like everybody's not carrying that. So
yes.
I want to ask you this question. It's more of a personal question. You obviously started playing golf. You weren't using the putter. You've got the putter now.
Yeah.
How has it made you more consistent putting?
Again, I think like I went and golfed 3 days in a row, which was awesome. Like,
I'm
I can
jealous.
golf every
What is
day.
that? What is that? Like, I wish I live in Orlando and I can't do that. So.
I can't believe. Well, my husband and I are dinks, dual income, no kids, so we just kind of go on the fly, right? Again, for me, it was the consistency. I've got PXG clubs. I purchased those and got them custom fitted. I love my clubs. But the putter, you know, I was always kind of hit and miss. Since my new putter, I love, for me too, on our website, which I love and I think is so cool, is we just launched within like literally the last couple of weeks, is what putter is going to be good for your stroke. So we have a test on there so that you can see like which one would it be. So mine's actually like, I just got my brand new one and I was out trying it the other day. I'll show you because I don't think anyone's going to see this on there, but the wing system with, again, our anchors. So it's center strike is what we call it. And I use the 75. I love this. And I've got our Super Stroke 2. They have, they're amazing. They love this. We met them at the show, at the PGA show. And he really thought, he's like, I don't throw comments out. Like, he's like, I really like your technology. So it's pretty cool. But for me, I still need to go. I need to go out more and test it more.
We all do. We all do. Like that's day jobs get in the way of a lot of things. So
right. But no, I definitely this definitely helps. I do. I love it. I stand by it, and I'm proud to be a part of something that's different and growing. And obviously, like, Shaman's just he's a great human in a lot of ways. So good dude.
The technology that's in here, I feel like this technology is technology that PGA Tour players and the elite players have had access to for a very long time, and that they've had the ability to get custom putters and change weighting and do all these other things. But now it's for the everyday player, which is huge, I think. How much, like talk about that technology and how it's benefiting good golfers, single digit golfers, and I'm not trying to criticize you, but someone who's broken 100 once, like you know what I mean? Like there's a huge variation.
Hey, man,
so.
Twice well, no, that's not true. I can safely say that I am a bogey golfer. Bogey to double bogey. That's me always.
Okay. That's you. Okay.
I would say that's what I'm saying is the coolest part about this is that you have that technology that the pros have had access to for many, many years. And now, again, even somebody like me, like I would never claim I'm a pro in fitness, but I'm never claiming I'm a pro at golf by any means. But I still know the difference of picking up like an Odyssey, I don't know if I could say this, but Odyssey putter or, you know, like a cheaper Lopez putter, you can feel the difference. Even if you're not pro, you can still feel the difference and the confidence that you have with our putter, I believe, than something that's just, you know, off the rack or whatever. And I'm a big believer in too that, you know, if you are going to get serious in a sport, if you really want to progress at it, well, then why don't you invest in the right equipment that's set for you? That's one of the reasons why I used to have TaylorMades. They were just secondhand bought, and I was like, if I'm gonna get good, and I want to get good, I'm gonna get something that's like set up for me, and that, you know, invest in it. So I'm a big believer in investing in your stuff that you're gonna be using.
I saw your putter's pink.
Is that something? It's pink.
Is that something new? Because like on the website, I just see a bunch of black putters. Is that something we got coming new? A little.
That's a teaser, my friend. Yes, we just got a LPGA pro Subin Joe, who's So cute. She's such a little sweetheart. Her putter's black and then it's got pink on the bottom. So because everything like is made in house in Idaho, we have colorways coming. We can put. I have my signature on the bottom of the putter. Again, it is endless, and that's what I think is so cool and so unique that we're not just like, you know, it's made overseas and then shipped back to the States, or you know, it everything is made in house from start to finish. So yeah, I pink. Who knows? If you want pink,
you work in the brand. It'll go with my shirt. You work on the brand awareness side of building this brand. What's been the most exciting part about introducing Killer Golf in North America and in Korea?
Well, Korea is just a whole other market, which is the Koreans. I love Koreans. They're awesome. They're so sweet and so kind, and I think just it's been again every like keep in mind we're in what we're just coming up in June, so we literally launched day one was at the PGA show, so it's not even been 6 months yet that we've been out. So to safely say, it's definitely trying to introduce new product and new technology that's different for people. It's not been easy per se for like people are, but you get people that are like we had the Mr. Short Hitter, Mr. Short Game. He's
Mr.
very
Short
good.
Game,
On YouTube. He actually came to the day one of the PGA show and he tried it out on the greens and he was like, this is awesome. So when you hear feedback from somebody like that that's been at this for so long, that's pretty cool. So I think it's just gonna grow, but it just takes time, right? Like coming on the Golf Dads and getting aware.
Well, and my next question is, and I actually saw you guys on the Equipment Junkies page, on Tej's page. And Tej gets, I mean, the stuff that he gets, I'm like, he's getting boxes from Scotty Cameron, and I'm like, Tej, I want to know how I'm getting boxes from Scotty Cameron. So how important have partnerships, club fitters, instructors, and even podcasts been for your guys' growth?
I mean, it's definitely number one right now, right? Like if you look at any kind of marketing, it's changed. I mean, Instagram marketing, Meta, Facebook, it's changed so much in the last 5 years, right? So you consistently have to kind of keep changing with it, in my opinion. So having, aligning yourself, people like you, people like Club Junkie or whatever, hey, try it out, see what you think. I think it's very essential. And it's just getting it to the right eyes. And I think it's just being more, you have to be consistent with anything, right? With our golf, with our fitness, whatever that may be, you have to keep showing up in people's faces. Anytime you watch a commercial, you see it 14, 15 times, then someone's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use Mr. Clean products. I don't know. But it's just,
I hear Mr. Clean every day from my kids. When they see somebody that's bald, they just say it's Mr. Clean. So
exactly.
What's next for Killer Golf?
Well, we signed somebody else. I know that, which is pretty awesome. We signed another LPGA in the making. And I think for us, I mean, we'll definitely be at the PGA show. Korea, we'll keep expanding it there. New colors, there's kind of endless of where this is going. Because we have our own machine shop, there's not to say that we won't be coming out with our own clubs. Like, it kind of is endless on
you're teasing a lot of things here that I kind of want to see in the future. So that's good. That's good.
Which is cool, right? And I love that, again, like, I think it's just so inspiring that it's made in the US. It's from, his engineering background and somebody that actually really wanted to be a pro golfer. Like, that's a huge story in itself. And I always tell Sean, I'm like, tell your story. And he's like, oh, nobody wants to hear from me. I'm like, I get it. But like, I'm going to
tell you right now, I've got an idea about when we can hear from him. So we're going to talk about that. Because when we get done here, you and I are going to have a conversation about getting him on here. So, if golfers listening today remember one thing about Killer Golf after this interview, what would you want it to be?
I think that if I wanted them to remember something, I would say that we're endless with different. You can only you have one putter, and it's going to do everything. It's going to be your training aids. It's going to be your weights. It's going to be your equilibrium. It's going to be your fun factor. Like one putter can do it all. So it's kind of like the shampoo, 2-in-1. It can do it all, but
Per plus.
you don't need five different putters. You can just get one putter.
So if somebody wants to go and find out more and order their putter from Killer Golf, how can they find you guys?
Just killergolf.com. Easy. And again, I can't stress enough, go to our page with the putters. There's a quiz on there. So it literally sets it up for you to show you which one would be best fitting for you. And you can also buy like the center strike system, the EQ system. You can buy it separately as well. So if you buy, let's say, our EQ system, you can go ahead and you're like, you know what? I want to try the center strike. So you can buy those pieces as well. So it's interchangeable. That's the biggest thing I can say to. It's not just one putter. That's it does it all. We literally can do it all for you.
Awesome. Well, Heidi, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the time and really looking forward to seeing where Killer Golf goes for the next 6 months and then into year 2. So I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Well, Steve and I apparently changed shirts here after that interview.
We have changed shirts, haven't we? Look at that. Really quick score update. 1-0 Carolina. 25 seconds into the first period, Carolina scored tonight in game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So
that's pretty impressive. So
there was a lot to unpack in that interview. I had a great time interviewing Heidi. And obviously we recorded that. But I think Killer Golf is onto something. And I can tell you that there was already a conversation about the possibility of a second interview with Shamek, their CEO, coming up in a couple months. So something to look forward to. And I feel like also when we do that, there may also be some content at the PGA show, but we'll save that for PGA show. So,
and it looks like there's a lot coming out with Killer Golf. Great new putter line that they have going for them. And the thing that we've talked about for a lot of years on this show is customization. And that's something that's really cool with this putter is the customization that you can do to it. And I mean, Steve really wants to get a bobblehead of himself is really what I took away from that interview. So,
I mean, listen, who wouldn't want that? I mean, it's pretty amazing to be able to get a bobblehead of yourself.
All right. Well,
you know what else is amazing?
What, Steve? What else is amazing?
That Bridgestone golf ball Tour B with that mindset technology. The visual cues help you focus, commit, and roll it pure. Same tour level performance now in a smarter way to lock in. Find your fit and play the Tour B today. BridgestoneGolf.com. You've got the Boomits there, also with the mindset technology for the kids. That Velo search technology, pretty amazing. So, Greg, before we went live tonight,
got some breaking news.
There was some breaking news that broke on the internet, and I will give credit where credit is due. I want to give a shout out to the guys at Foreplay for breaking this.
I got to step away for a second, so I got to do some dad things. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. So the PGA Tour has asked the John Deere to move from where they are in Illinois and the TPC facility that they're at to Chicago. Kind of saw this coming. Not gonna lie, I kind of feel like the PGA Tour was they've been talking about wanting to get into the major markets. This was very predictable that they wanted to go major market and get into these big cities, Boston, Chicago, New York. Don't necessarily know that it works. They've struggled in these big markets before. They have found way more success in these smaller markets. And, it's one of those things for when you look at where are we with what they're trying to do. I understand the move, but I also feel like this move is really not. I don't know. I mean, it puts a very long-standing fan of the show, Mr. Schubert. It puts a tournament in his backyard. I guess we could go crash at his place and go to the event. Greg, what do you think about that?
Well, let me talk to you about this first, because you're only moving the event 2 hours east.
Mm-hmm.
It's already in Illinois, so
Right.
you're not the only thing you're changing here, and it depends on. There's so many courses in the Chicago area, but
Right.
the Chicago area is a logistical nightmare to navigate. It's a great city, but getting through it is just god awful. So when you're trying to get all these fans to an event there, where are they parking? Where are you putting them? Where is all this? And they've done events there at Cog Hill. They've done events at the
Mhm.
Chicago Country Club. There's been events in that area, and it works. But you're going
Medina.
from
Medina's hosting the President's Cup this year.
Medina's hosting the President's Cup there. So they can
Yep.
do it there, but are you getting the change that you want out of this? That's my big question, to just move it 2 hours east.
My question is do you get the fan base that you're getting at TPC Deer Run? I don't know that you're getting everything that you need, but I understand the why. I just don't understand. And here's my question: like, again, they were at Cog Hill for a while, and there were a lot of criticism of Cog Hill. And funny enough, the criticism of Cog Hill is the same criticism I have of a golf course that everyone here in Orlando loves, and that is Eagle Creek. Is that all the par threes you hit the same club on?
Well, the other thing that I'm looking at here is why you talked about the fan base. I don't
Mhm.
feel your fan base is changing much moving into Chicago.
No.
And then the other problem that I have here is, what was the reason that the PGA of America CEO was fired? Because of the fan base at the Ryder Cup and what they were saying, and he didn't react to it.
I don't know that you get the same fan base in Chicago that you get on Long Island at Bethpage when you
You
have an
get a
MC standing
rowdy,
on the.
similar fan base. You do.
Eh,
I've lived in both areas, man. It's
I get it. I understand that, but I don't think, again, a Ryder Cup at Bethpage is way different than the John Deere Classic.
you are, but you're getting a rowdier sports fan base is what I'm saying here. When you go to these major
Mhm.
cities, you're getting those folks that are riled up and aren't a typical golf community. It's a passionate fan base. I'm not saying anything bad
Mhm.
about the fan base, but what I'm saying is you're going to have to expect a little more vulgarity, a little more intensity behind it, and maybe that's what
Mhm.
they want, because
Yep.
you're not getting that on the other side of the state
Here's
in the country.
here's the other question though. You have a city in Chicago that is struggling right now to decide if the Chicago Bears are going to play in Chicago or Illinois. And
They're
roll out,
playing in
Brian,
Indiana.
roll out,
They're moving to
or
Indiana.
Indiana.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
they're
have
playing
two
Indiana
teams
or
in
Illinois.
Indiana next year. No, it's not going to happen next year.
But Brian Rowlett came from the NFL, and you have this city in Chicago that doesn't want the NFL there. Like, they don't want to put up the money to put a stadium up, and they're going to lose the tax dollars and the revenue and all that other stuff to Indiana, and they're still going to be called the Chicago Bears. So I think you have to really take a long, hard look at that. Like, there's things
They're
that
going to
need
be
to be
the Gary
considered here.
Bears. Let's get this right. Gary Bears. They're moving to
I'm
Gary,
sorry, the Gary
Indiana.
Bears.
They're going to be the Gary
Yeah.
Bears, which is going to sound like the most cuddly stuffed bear in the world.
They're going to come a little hard on their butts too, like the Care Bears did.
Exactly. But that's the point here. Is I just don't see. I get that you want to move to major cities and that's your push here, but
Yep.
what are you gaining from it? Are ticket sales at TPC Deer Run not what you want them to be, and you think they're going to be bigger there? And if that's the case, then the move is good. Then yes, I think the move is good. But what TPC Deer Run and that community and that course does out there is puts on a great family golf events. And I wish Dave was
Right.
on here tonight because Dave has gone out to it. Dave and I have both
Right.
played that course out there, and it is in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to lie about that. But they make it such a family-friendly event with John Deere being right there that it fits where it's at. So that I think
Yeah.
it's more because of where the event is and the significance of that event that's why I don't want that event moving to Chicago. I'm not against having an event in Chicago.
Here's my 2 cents, and I'm gonna tie this into point number 2 that we're gonna talk about tonight. We talked last week. They played Colonial last weekend, right?
Mhm.
We had 12 under win, Colonial. We had an exciting finish. We had a great golf tournament at Colonial this past weekend. And if you didn't watch Colonial this past weekend, shame on you for not watching a really fun golf tournament. Because that
That
golf tournament
Sunday finish was
was
phenomenal.
I mean, I'm going to tip my cap to Russell Henley. I feel like Russell Henley reminds me of a very Lee Jansen style player, and that he wins
Yep.
on hard golf courses. Birdie's the last 3 holes, and then birdie's the first hole in the playoffs. So we're going to go turkey, a little bowling turkey reference here. 3 birdies in a row. Has to sit and watch a group finish. And, oh, wait, we're just going to make one more for good measure. Put a little cherry on top of it, and I'm going to take home a trophy with me and a new car. So 2 things out of this. You had an event in Dallas. You have an event in Fort Worth. There's a discussion that you have 5 events in Texas, and none of them are signature events. And will any of them be track A events? We had that conversation last week, right? We did.
Yep.
To me,
Add on top of
I'll be
this,
hon-
where the PGA Championship is next year, if we're talking about just in that area of Texas.
in Frisco, we're going to go back real close to TPC Craig Ranch in the McKinney area up in Frisco. What do you think? 2 questions.
Mhm.
One, should Colonial move to a signature event? Hard golf course, 12 under wins. It's not like it's the Birdie Fest the week before. But then you have this event, and I think John Deere has added that drama into the equation leading into the Open, in that it's provided somebody a spot into the Open.
Mhm.
There's always a really cool storyline. There's a reason to watch. There's a reason to watch Colonial last week because it was awesome. Like, that golf tournament is awesome. The golf course is amazing. Like, that's my problem with this move from John Deere, is that there's a ton of really good storylines. Jordan Spieth getting his first win at TPC Deere Run, getting into the Open Championship, which he's won before. Now that he's won also, like, how do you go down this road of saying, hey, we want to move a tournament from TPC Deere Run, which has been very successful, is to me like saying that you have 5 events in Texas, and next year with the PGA, there's going to be a 6th event in Texas, and now we're not going to have a signature series or tier 1 or level 1 or whatever, track 1 event there. Greg, tell me your opinion. What do we need to do here?
So I think there's too much noise out there right now. I think we don't know what's going on. I think the PGA is still working through what they're going to do. The PGA Tour is working through what they're going to do with every event out there. And I feel these rumors are getting out there. What I don't want to see is too many events, not just moving time frame, because a lot of these events people plan around every year going to, and they go around that time frame. But those courses, I like seeing the same course over and over again. I don't like seeing a course move all the time. I want the Open, the US Open, and the PGA. Those are the 3 that I want to see rotate. That's what I want to see rotate just because of the history of that. But for these other events, I like them being where they're at. And if they're going to move, I hope they move and stay at that area. But what I don't want is, like, I'm going to use TPC Deer Run. If they move out of there and they move to Chicago, let's say they move to Cog Hill next year because of this, because of the time frame or whatever there. I don't want then in 2028 they move to a different course in Chicago because Cog Hill doesn't want to host it again. And then they move to, I don't want this jumping around. I want something
I agree with
where
you.
there's consistency and they can build that community around that event. Because going back to your question, in Texas, they have that community around these events. I mean, the big thing here is talking about that if the Byron Nelson now becomes a tier 2, Siwoo and Scotty, who this is in their backyard, love that event might not play in
Mhm.
that event now because it's a tier 2 event. So you're taking away events from some players that they like. So I really think they just need to consider all of this and look at what are the events that tour players like, what are the events that the fans like going to, and that
Mhm.
have those events. And as fans, we need to support those events for where they are. So I think they need to take all of this into consideration before they make these big drastic moves, because the other thing that I think is going to be a factor in this that no one's talking about, I know you and I have talked about it, is who's sponsoring these events. Because a lot of times those sponsors are close to those areas. So if you're
So funny
moving,
story. John
but
Deere
if you're
isn't
moving
back.
those, I think that could be interesting to what could happen to those sponsors as well. Because like I know you're going to talk the Century
That's the next
because
thing to talk about. Yep.
exactly, I know that's what you were going to talk
That was the
about.
worst kept secret. That was the worst kept secret
Yeah,
in golf, by the way.
but
Moving that to Torrey
when you're
Pines.
changing the
Okay.
names of these all the time, it kind of gets frustrating when the sponsor's name is in it. Because I'm
Mhm.
going to go back to my favorite event, the Heritage, which is now the RBC Heritage, which at one time was the
Yep.
Verizon Heritage, which at one time was the
Yep.
Boeing Heritage, which at one time was the MCI Heritage. Like, I don't like the sponsorship almost being in the name. I like them being a title sponsor, but I like now that
Yep.
everyone is now just referring to it as the Heritage, or we're referring to it as Colonial, or we're referring to it
You know who
as
I think
this,
needs a sponsorship of a PJ Tour event?
the Golfing Dads.
That and our friends at Desert Fox, because they just joined on the Instagram feed. So I do think that Desert Fox Golf needs to get a tournament sponsorship. Just want to say what's up to those guys. I want to do rapid fire on 3 topics really quick: good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay.
Blades Brown has gotten his temporary membership in the PGA Tour. However, he's playing on the Corn Ferry Tour this week. If you're Blades Brown, are you looking for a top 20 finish on the Corn Ferry Tour this year to get your card, or are you trying to get your card through the PGA Tour?
They actually asked him this. Balionis asked him this on air on CBS after he got this temporary status, and I think the Corn Ferry Tour is the way to go here because I think that's a good way to kind of. He's been tested on the PGA Tour and he's done really well. I think he's going to be a
He's made
star. I think
$700,000
exactly.
on the PGA Tour.
I think that he can do. I think he can do it either way, but I think going that path of the
Mhm.
Corn Ferry and working through that is kind of that better path because I think if he goes to the PGA and he hits a bump really quickly, that might set him back in his game. I look at this the same way I look at quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't think a quarterback should come out in the NFL and go right to being the starter when they're drafted. I think they should play behind a vet for a few weeks, learn a little bit, and then get there. That's what I think about this. I think play on the Corn Ferry Tour because you have that PGA Tour experience, and I think that's going to come in handy when you're playing on that Corn Ferry Tour. So that's the route I'm going there.
Hey, really quickly before I get into the last 2 topics because they kind of intertwine. Control is king, and with Cobra's new King Mini Tech Mini driver, you can enhance your accuracy, find more fairways, take control of your game. The market's most versatile mini driver, King Tech, delivers exceptional playability, making it the perfect replacement for an ineffective fairway wood or even your driver. Learn more about Cobra's mini driver today at cobragolf.com.
Hey, and you talked about it in the interview. Getting fit, finding those clubs. Cobra's doing that amazing technology in their clubs that's really going to help your game. So make sure you're checking out cobragolf.com. All
Hey,
right.
Next topic really quick. Internet Invitational, $4 million. Good or bad?
Better if we're invited.
I kind of want to go and do play-by-play. I think we should be able to do that.
I think that would be
the
fun.
guys from 4Play are playing, so why not bring somebody else in to do play-by-play? And
Yep.
I mean, I'd volunteer to do that. Well,
Bring in the golfing dads to. So if you're out there, send it to Portnoy to get us out there, and we'll even help him do pizza reviews. I mean, he's a big
I'm good with that.
Caitlin Clark fan.
I mean, at Big
wear all my
Cedar
favorite
though, I
stuff.
kind of want to do some like bison burger reviews at Big Cedar.
That would be fun too. But yeah, I think if you got the money there, I mean, you might want to help Live out too. They might be looking for investors. Yep, I went there.
Lastly, Brad Dahlke, speaking of Internet Invitational, Brad Dahlke has accepted an invite to play in the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Brad is a member of Good, a great collegiate player who had PGA Tour aspirations. Is this good or bad?
It's indifferent. I
Okay.
think Rocket Mortgage actually has done this before where they've had someone come out and play that's not on tour that has gotten a sponsor's exemption for something. And I think it's interesting because for him, he's got to show up and actually play decent because if he plays, as you put it, bad, then people are going to eat him
Yeah.
alive for taking a spot out there. Even if it's not like he's not actually taking a spot, he's taking a sponsor's exemption that's out there. But
Right.
that's the way people are going to see it, is that he took a spot away from someone who should have had a better spot than he had. But he's a good player, so I think that it could be interesting to watch. And when you get your moment, take your shot. So let's see how he does out there.
I'm not arguing that. I completely agree with you. Do I think that of any of the people on Good to get a shot, I think Brad Dahlke is the one. I'm just hoping when the Internet Invitational comes back that the other members of Good don't sleep in and miss their tee times. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Lukewarm.
I'm just hoping. Hey, I'm hoping that if someone uses a rangefinder at the Internet Invitational,
I was
they
about
are
to go
using
there.
the Nikon rangefinder because with that OLED technology, you can lock in on your target, especially with that stabilization. Make sure you are checking out Nikon Golf, the official rangefinder of the LPGA Tour and of the Golfing Dads. Make sure
All
the
right.
smoke's off.
we're going to lead with this. There's been a lot of talk. Liv is finally back playing, and they finally got interviewed this week. So there was a 7-week hiatus from Liv Golf, and a lot has gone on in that 7-week window. So they finally had to answer some questions. There's some questions that were asked today as well, in this week. So during that time, Liv announced that they were going to suspend their Any Shot Anytime feature, which was part of their paid service. Thought it was odd because it's
they're refunding
service.
all the people $59.
No. They're not refunding. You have to inquire about a refund. Let's clarify that. You have to inquire about a refund. So I heard something tonight on Sirius XM. I was coming home from soccer practice with my son, and I heard something tonight that one of the reasons wasn't that Liv wanted to do this. The company that is doing this for them hadn't been paid in months, and they walked away with all the news that's going on. So here's my question for you, Greg, with all of that knowledge in the background. Let's pretend that you are sitting across the table from Liv making a pitch for you to invest money in them.
Mm-hmm.
What would they have to tell you? What?
We're playing this game again? I think we're going to play this game a lot.
What would they have to tell you in order for you to part with millions of dollars?
I'm going to go back. So it keeps changing. So it used to be, I need to see what you're going to do, where it's going to go in the future. But now I'm looking at this, and if this report is true out there, that they were not paying this because now they don't have the funding for this, I don't know that I'm going to invest. I don't know that there's anything that you can do, because if you can't pay your partners, that's a problem. Like, and it happens from time to time in business, and you have to cut deals, and you cut deals short because something happens, and I get that. But if you're not paying your partners for something, and now you put something out there and you can't pay for it, that's a problem. Because if I'm a fan and I'm looking at this and I spent so much money because I think Liv is great and I want to watch Liv, you're going to cut that soundbite out, and that's all that I'm going to hear is that what I just said. But if I'm paying all this money and then all of a sudden you're taking this away from me, imagine if the NFL, all of a sudden, I pay for the NFL Sunday ticket, and then 3 weeks into the season they go, we can't pay for that anymore, so you're going to have to inquire about getting a refund of my, what is it, like $600 for that back. And now you can't watch any of the out-of-market games. You can only watch the team closest to you in your market. You know
I want to read
you
a
know the
comment really
you know the
quick. I want to
riot
read a
that would
comment.
happen?
I want to read a comment from our friend, the Ocala golfer on Instagram right now. That is, hello, do you need help burning your cash? Skip the fire pit and let us burn it for you. Now,
I mean, so
that
I'm
ties
gonna go with what he
into
said. Hold on. Like, skip the fire pit. It's basically Live is turning into the fire festival.
right.
Let's be
Correct.
honest. Next thing they're gonna
Wow,
say is
that is a
here's
hot
your meal.
take
It's a
of
cheese
hot
sandwich.
takes. Comments today where Sergio said that he thinks that everything is fine and that there's not a lot going on and that there's not a lot to worry about, to John Rahm. And again, you could take this either way. John Rahm's comment was, I'm going to stay in my lane.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do any negotiations and I'm not going to do any pitches. Well, you're the biggest paid player. So again, I've said before, golfers should be golfers. Golfers should not be running businesses. I agree with that. However, when you are one of the biggest two names on that tour, if you don't want to come out and have this conversation, to me, it tells me that John Rahm is looking to get out quickly. And as soon as he can get out, he's gone. That's my comment.
I think that if you're looking at this from that perspective of, if I want to make something successful, I have to be part of that. And just playing golf, if he wanted to be just a player who's there, who's not making those business decisions, that's the PGA Tour, where you are basically a contracted player to play each week on tour. On Live, you kind of came in as, hey, we're going to give you a lot of money to be the face of this tour and be this, that when it's struggling, this is when you got to basically grit your teeth and go out there and get people to invest in this if you want this to continue. So I do agree with you, Steve, that it's almost him saying, if this isn't going to work, I want my way out, because this isn't what I signed up for.
I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to live out my contract, and then I'm peace in the Middle East and we out of here.
Because you look at
that,
Bryson,
the pun was intended.
The
by the way, the peace in the Middle East pun was intended. Yes, but I mean, it was 90s hip hop, but yes.
Yeah. But if you look at Bryson is actually trying to go after investors and do that stuff, because I mean, Bryson gets this. He does this with his YouTube channel and everything, that he gets that you need people to back you to fund all of this and do everything that's out there. So he wants to make this successful. I think he also wants to make this successful because he doesn't see a way back to the PGA Tour. So that's really the two sides of this. And I think like a Sergio is more towards the Bryson side of, I don't see a way back to the tour, especially because the way I've acted at the Masters and other things, that maybe they don't want me back because of my attitude. So I need to try and make this work, where Rahm is like, I see a way back and I want out. I want out now. I think Rahm wants out as soon as possible.
Oh, I think Rahm is trying to get out and get back to the PGA Tour as quickly as he can.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think if it was up to Rahm,
he'd be there today.
He'd be gone. He'd be there today, because at this point,
I think he regrets not taking the deal when they offered it, when Brooks
because he couldn't afford it based on what was reported.
Well, that's what it is. And I think he, looking back, he should have taken it.
Eric, zero chance that happens. And then the other one with him is Phil. The two of them have no chance. Nobody wants either of them back.
Sergio and Bryson, I almost think is now bordering, because of, again, I don't think he's making it better for himself.
No, and I think part of the problem with Bryson is, again, at the end of the day, Bryson left the PGA Tour as a whiny little brat that had this whole thing with Brooks that was like blowing up. And then he went there and was like, oh, my publicist said I have to be nice. So he went to Live and then decided to be nice and created this YouTube channel. But now he's come across as this arrogant little brat. Again, back to that.
It's not a good look right now.
No, it's not. Hey, but you know what is a good look, especially for kids?
Upswing golf.
Upswing golf. Gear your young golfer started right with Upswing Golf and their full lineup of clubs designed for proper fit, real performance, and serious fun. Upswing Golf, grow like a pro.
Hey, you know what else is a good look? Golfish.
Bam.
Check out our friends at golfish.com
Yeah.
for all of
Check
your
'em out.
apparel needs.
Memorial this week. We got another signature event.
Yeah, almost in my backyard. Just stayed over. Just about a 2-hour
One
drive.
state over. Are you going to Ohio this week or no?
I don't know. I might swing over to it. I got some friends that usually go over to it, so I might try to tag along. But it's a fun little event over there, Jack's Events. So
if you go, I want a full report on a milkshake.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool.
You know what also is over there? The brewery down by you, one of my favorite breweries, is Crooked Can.
Oh,
they have a second
Crooked
location.
Can is over there
In
they
Hilliard,
are
Ohio. So
yeah, they are. I have first pick this week.
You do have first pick this week.
I didn't have to go very far because it's not going to affect my pick for the Open if I end up with first pick for the Open. And his name is Scotty Scheffler. Okay, cool.
Scotty
I'm
Scheffler.
glad we moved on
All
from
right.
that.
So, all right. Well, with the second pick, Dave picks, and he sent me his pick since he's not here. He picked basically number 3. Oh no, he actually moved down. He's picking Xander Schauffele here. He's not picking number 3. He was gonna pick Fitzy, but he decided to go with Mr. Xander Schauffele this week.
Go ahead and take Rory, Greg. Just go ahead and do it.
I'm taking someone who is pictured behind me, actually. Mr. Goddard. Give me Chris Goddard this week.
Chris Goddard.
I think
if Goddard wins this week,
better.
I feel like he moves into the lead of Player of the Year on the PGA Tour if he wins this week.
I really think he does. I think he started off strong, fell back a little bit, but now he's been getting back in those top 10, top 15 wins. I think this is a week, and it's a course that has length to it, and I think he can do really well this week. So give me Chris Goddard up this week.
Eric, if you're not picking Nelly, you're crazy. And
yeah, that's really it's Nelly
Let's
against
just
the
go
field.
all in.
Let's
We're gonna go
honest.
all in on Nelly this week. But yeah, Greg, I great show this week. I want to thank Heidi from Killer Golf for joining us this week. Great interview with her, and I can't wait for them to come back on the show in the future. Yeah, no, I think there's some good stuff this week. I'm intrigued to see what happens after the live event this week. And then all of the questions that are going to happen at Shinnecock of the live players that are there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the tough thing moving forward here is once we get to these final 2 majors, it's going to be very live PGA focused, unlike what it was where they tried to separate this when it first separated. I think now there's going to be a lot more talk about this, and I think there might be even some rumors of players talking to the PGA about how they get back. I think you're going to see that in rumors.
I think Bryson has already had a conversation, and I think Bryson was told something he didn't want to hear based on things that happened when he left. And I think that's why Bryson is going all in to try and make this work. Because I think from Bryson's perspective, if live fails,
it's over.
He's in trouble.
Yeah.
He's in trouble.
So there's going to be more about that with the other players now. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, and Joaquin Neiman has won 8 times on that tour, and nobody cares.
Has he won since it went to 4 days?
Yeah, he won last week.
Oh, that's right. He did. That was his first one since then. So.
He did win. He did win last week. He's won 8 times. And you know what? I'll give Joaquin a lot of credit. I mean, the dude has gone around the world and played some golf. He's a great golfer. Here's the question. And I'm gonna yes or no.
You got 30 seconds, buddy.
At this point, would Joaquin Neiman have won 4 times on the PGA Tour since he left between then and now?
I think 2.
Okay. Have a good night. See you, everybody.
Night, everybody.
All right, guys.